Diffraction at a straight edge. This presentation captures the essence of the theory behind the practical diffraction at a narrow wire. We discuss the division of a plane wavefront into Fresnel's half-period zones and subsequently show that the diffraction fringes get closer as we move away from the region of the geometrical shadow. Let us begin by analyzing this figure. The slit source is placed parallel to the edge M0. The cylindrical wave is diffracted at the straight edge and the Fresnel pattern is formed on the screen P'. To find the disturbance at P' on the edge of the geometrical shadow, we divide the wavefront into Fresnel zones. The intensity at P is A1 square by 4 for a point P' in the region of the geometrical shadow. The strips above M0 are effective, but the farther P' moves away from P, greater is the obliquity. Consequently, each strip above M0 gives a smaller contribution at the point P' than it gives at P. The resultant amplitude at P' is also smaller than that at P. Thus, as P' moves away from P, the intensity decreases steadily. For a point P" in the geometrical illuminated region, it is convenient to divide the wavefront into half-period strips starting at M0". All strips on one side of M0" are effective. They constitute one half of a wavefront and give a contribution at P" equal to the total disturbance at P. In addition, strips between M0" and M0 give contributions. If one strip's contributions are added to that of the strips above M0", the resultant is going to be somewhat greater than that at P. If contribution due to two strips is added, it is going to give a small contribution. The intensity at P" is slightly larger than that at P. If the contribution due to three strips are added, the contribution due to two strips cancel, effect of the third must be added. This suggests that as P" moves away from P, the intensity passes through a series of maxima and minima as indicated in the figure. Therefore, one has a minimum at P" when an even number of half-period strips is exposed between M" and MO, and one has, for a minimum, the condition P" M0 minus P" M0" equal to 2n lambda by 2, which is simply n lambda, where n is an integer. Let us now analyze the situation a little quantitatively. Since for a minimum P" M0 minus M0" is going to be equal to n lambda, looking at the figure we can see that P" M0 is equal to root of x square plus b square, which you can write as b open brackets 1 plus x square upon b square raised to the power half, which on binomial expansion and neglecting higher order terms becomes equal to b plus x square upon 2b, since x is very much less than b. This gives us P" equal to under root of x square plus rho plus b whole square, which is equal to rho plus b plus x square upon 2 rho plus b. Therefore, P" MO" becomes equal to rho plus b plus x square upon 2 rho plus b minus rho, which is simply equal to b plus x square upon 2 rho plus b. Hence, for a minimum at P", one will eventually have b plus x square by 2b minus b plus x square upon 2 rho plus b equal to n lambda, or simplifying this, we will get x square rho upon 2b rho plus b equal to n lambda. So you can write x equal to under root of b rho plus b n lambda upon rho. Similarly, for a maximum, we will have x equal to under root of b rho plus b 2n plus 1 lambda upon rho. It must be realized that this theory is only a first approximation. If we tabulate the results, we will get the first maxima for n equal to 0, in which case x1 is equal to some constant, say k. The second maxima at n equal to 1 will give us the value of x2 equal to k root 3. And the third maxima at n equal to 2 will give us x3 equal to k under root of 5. So x2 minus x1 is equal to k root 3 minus k, which comes out to be equal to 0.732k. And x3 minus x2 is equal to k root 5 minus k root 3, which comes out to be equal to 0.504k. x4 minus x3 will be equal to k root 7 minus k root 5, and it comes out to be equal to 0.430k. Hence, we come to an important conclusion that the diffraction fringes are not equidistant but get closer and closer as we move away from the region of the geometrical shadow. All these diffraction fringes are parallel to the edge of the geometrical shadow.